Hey guys, remember me? It's been well over a year since my last Flosstube, and I was stitching constantly. It is now, let's start with, it's September 20th, 2025. I don't think I have uploaded a video since like March of 2024. I don't know exactly. I was still stitching quite a bit up until we went to Florida in June, and since my stepmom was so sick, we literally didn't leave the house for like a week. We didn't do anything. Maggie played in the pool, and I cross-stitched literally all day, every day, for like a week straight. And since then, I have not hardly, I think I've picked it up twice. I'm just, right now, not that into it, and I'm not getting rid of my stuff, for sure. I've got hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. I'm not getting rid of it, because I know I will pick up the stuff again. But my plan right now is to go through everything and try to make it so I have the projects and the floss together. So this is going to be a big WIP parade. It's going to be choppy because I'm going to do what I've got right here, and then I've got a couple things up there, and then I have stuff next to the couch. I have a bag that has a bunch of stuff. I have this new little robot camera thing that follows me. Pretty cool. So I have cross-stitch projects all over the house, and I'm going to basically go through them all myself and try to get the floss together with the projects and put stuff away. I'm gonna get, I have a couple of these, oh, my room is a disaster, sorry. These really useful boxes. I have a few that two that I've bought new. This pink one I bought used. The problem is they're not exactly the same size, so they don't stack well. So I'm going to go and I'm going to buy the ones that I know fit together so I can stack them and put all my stuff away. I know that's a long way of saying that, but that's what I'm doing. So come along with me. The ones I have right here are my oldest, probably. Oh wow, that's rusty. So they're still on scroll rods, probably because they're the biggest ones. Oh boy, I have a bunch on scroll rods downstairs too. So here we go. In no particular order, not any idea of when I started them or anything. When the last time I picked them up, no idea. Actually, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a video here of all of my finishes that I have, because I have a bunch of finishes hanging up over there, a couple of finishes hanging up there, one over there. I've got a couple up above my fish tank. So I've got a bunch of finishes. I might as well show those too. Now, they're finished, but some of them are not like framed or anything, but that's okay. So here's a video with those things, and I'll film that and then insert it. Okay, so here is a little video of my finishes. This one was a fully finished. This was a paper chart I got, and I was hoping to enter it in the Ohio State Fair last year, but I didn't. There's that. It's called Love from Above. And then I have This one was my garden or composition floral. This is a Jardin Privé, French company. This is, I think, 3 charts combined into one. You can buy all 3, or you can buy the 3 charts separate. And they tell you how to put it together if you get all 3. And then this one was A, B, C. I think from Jardin Privé. I did that for a month-long challenge, what you could finish in a month. You had to start and finish in 1 month. And then we've got all these guys. Wow. Where There Are Bees is a Prairie Schooler. I think it's out of print. Scissor Sampler by Tellin Emblem. Scissors and Bobbins from Jardin Privé. And then that one I did some random stitches across the bobbins to make it look like thread wrapped around them. And then this fabric was so light, I did back stitching around so you could see where the sheep were and the fence and the house. And then this flower was just a red flower, and I'm like, it looks just like a piranha plant, so I turned it into a piranha plant. And then this guy I actually got at a thrift store. Someone made it. It is teeny, teeny, tiny. 1/1 on linen, but I couldn't leave it there. It was too cute. And then this one is from Frosted Pumpkin. And then this one was my latest finish, Hufflepuff Crest. I was so close to being done, and I just never finished it, so I went ahead. I just had all the background to fill in, all the yellow. And that looks like one color of yellow, but it's actually 2 different colors of yellow. But that's my Hufflepuff Crest. And then, let's see if I can get down off of the bed without shaking the camera. This is an update, or a sneak peek of what I've been into. My jumping spiders. Let's see if anybody's out that you can see real quick. There's Buckeye, he's in the back. Tiger, he's on the front of the thermometer. And then I have 4 that are maybe getting ready to molt. This is Princess Buttercup. That's Ichabod, that's his belly. And Orchid, she's real pretty, orangish red. And then Athena has been in that web for days, so I think she's getting ready to molt. So there we go. That's my jumping spiders. I keep track of when I feed them and when they molt. But back to cross stitch. This is one of my first finishes. This is I think it's from Witchy Stitcher, maybe. It's the 3 of Crafts instead of the 3 of Swords. And then this guy, I found the rabbit was in one of the magazines, one of the cross-stitching magazines. I didn't want to do the whole rabbit. I just wanted his head. So I did his head, and I found these antlers in some other chart, and I turned him into a jackalope because I'm obsessed with jackalopes. And then I just figured out how to make like a simple frame around him so it looked like he was popping out of the frame. See, jackalope, although that's crappy. And then there's my fish tank. I think that's all of my finishes. This will show you my scary disaster of a sewing table. This is the Diamond Art Club Where the Fun Never Ends. It has clear plastic over the sticky part. I'm never gonna diamond paint it because it's huge. It goes all the way down to there. It starts up there. It takes up almost my whole closet door when I had it hanging on my closet door. But this is the diamond painting that I charted into wind stitch so I could make a cross stitch pattern, which is one of the patterns I'm going to show you in the next clip. So there we go. Okay, so here are the projects. This is one that I had done a whole bunch of, and then I decided I was going to restart it. So this is my restart of the giant Harry Potter from Cloud's Factory. And I do really, really want to do it. I just haven't really picked it up. But this is how far I've gotten. Oh, it does not like when I do that. It doesn't know where I went. Oh no, where did I go? Okay, so this is just the top corner. I was, I think, about 25% done when I decided to restart. I had started it on like a ecru fabric, and the people just were not showing up at all. And anything that was white was not showing up. So I was trying to like change the colors to make things show up, and I'm like, I would really much rather do this on a dark fabric. So this is, I'm pretty sure, from my Vintage Needle Arts, probably. So I ordered this specifically for this. So it is a big piece. This banner is quite large, or this, it's really long, but I do really want to do it. So that's the first one. And then this is what I was saying, looks like it's rusted. My buck beak needle minder. It's a piece of Harry Potter fabric that I put in my button maker. So obviously the back of it has rusted, but that's okay. It's not a touch in the fabric. And then this is, there's a company that has a whole bunch of these. They look kind of like stained glass, but this is the one that's Brave. Because I had a Merida, giant Merida that I was going to do, and then I had restarted that, and then I decided I wasn't going to do it. Here comes Maggie too. Yes, you can have a popsicle. Don't have any more, okay? And then I decided that was just too complicated, and it would take forever. So I thought this would be nice because it's color blocking. But this is as far as I got. So this is the bear. So obviously this is the queen as a bear, and then there's Merida, and then there's her dad and her little brothers. It's really cool. And this is on what do you call it? It's the one that's printed. Fabric Flare. This is Fabric Flare. So it's printed on one side and then white on the other. I think this one's called like Stormy or something. I can't remember. That's not my job anymore. I don't have to remember that stuff. And this, again, is another one that I had restarted. This is the 1920s Art Deco lady by Vivsters. I decided instead of stitching all the dark gray background, I would just get a gray fabric and then just not stitch the background. So this is how far I got on her, and she's amazing. And I'm doing the moon in a toile. So the moon is sparkly, but she's cool. And then like all the colors in the fabric. So this one, I do a chunk of color, or a chunk of the moon, and then I do some color, and then I do a chunk of the moon, and then I do some color. I do think I am going to undo these swoops and put them a different color so they show up, but maybe they're okay. We'll see. But if you look on the magnet, that's how, nope, it's not going to show. That's how many colors it's got. It's got tons of colors. So that's another one. And she is on, since I knew she was going to take forever, this is one of the scroll rods where you actually stitch the, like the base stitch the fabric onto the little fabric strips on the rods. Because I figured she's going to be on here forever. So it's the one and only frame I have like that. And then this one, I will never do it. I know I won't. It is, I think it's an Unconventional X stitch. It's the one that's, it's like Wolfie's soul or something. It's the nine-tailed wolf, I think. But it's really cool. Lots of reds, and that's as far as I got. And this thing is huge. But it's probably like 100 colors. And that's one of my favorite needle minders. It's on the Orient Express. And this one, I am just all about the restarts. This is Long Dog Samplers, Cardinal Points. And this is one that you can't get from Long Dog Samplers. You can only get it from as a paper chart with Gentle Arts. It uses Gentle Arts threads. It was charted specifically for Gentle Arts. So the colors are called for in all Gentle Arts. And I used the, oh man, it's so long since I've done this. I used the conversion, the DMC conversion. And I got all the Gentle Arts to restart it. And I got fabric to restart it. And I'm going to restart it someday. But see, like, the chart has all the symbols and everything. But I can't remember, like, I have a little cheat sheet of what the symbols colors are. But, so I'm going to start this one over eventually, but not right now. Probably not anytime soon. This one, I really want to do it. Like all of these, I really want to do them, but I just don't have any interest in picking up a needle and thread. This one is Long Dog Samplers. This is Quill's Santa Quill. And I got one rabbit done, and I got all of Quill. So, it's just black and white. Whoop, come back. It's just black and white. And then I found this blue, snowy looking sky. Or this snowy looking fabric. And I love it. Like, as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to do it. And I got pretty far. I just, meh. This is the first one I've done in silks. And this is, I can't think of what it's called. But they do all their stuff in silks. and I got the kit that has the silks, and it came with fabric too, but it came with linen, and I don't stitch on linen. So this is actually a fabric that I dyed, and my plan was to finish this, like to get this done for Christmas the year that I got this, and I have not obviously finished it. I did finish the first page, but it says Merry Christmas. But it's got specialty stitches in it. It's got Smyrna crosses, and it's got these little leafy things. And then there's 2 beads, there's little star beads that go on the birds' hats, and then little black beads for their eyes. But it's really pretty. And then this one, my mom got for me for Christmas or my birthday. And she even got me the fabric, which is also a vintage, my Vintage Needle Arts. This one's called like Cotton Candy, I think. But this is a geisha girl. And her hair, there's so much black. All of this is going to be black up to here, or down to here. So same thing, I was telling myself I'd do a chunk of black and then I'll do some color. I'll do a chunk of black and then I'll do some color. So I finished the butterfly in her hair, except for the back stitch and the little flower. She's amazing. But so much black in that hair. Once you get past that, it won't be so bad. And this is another Long Dog Samplers. This one I am doing in the called for colors, which are Gentle Arts, and I don't know, the only ones that is not a called for color is the purple, because I could not get the purple that they were calling for anywhere. I would have had to order it from a different shop separate and pay just as much for shipping as I would for the floss itself, so I just grabbed something I had. So this is Morning Chorus or Joyous Chorus something. Now, all the words are in DMC 310, but the rest of the black is the black it calls for. And then I did my initials and the red that is up here, so it pops out. So that's my initials, EH. But I do have the whole line across the top, the whole song, and all the hearts done all the way across. That way I wouldn't lose track, like I wouldn't lose count. So that's that one. What is that one called? Something Chorus. And I think that is all of the ones I have right here. Here is the fabric I got for the restart for the cardinal points is buckwheat. I thought that would be really good. And then I have this one that I got for something, because I really like Vintage Needle Arts. They have, she does all the dyeing herself, and they're so pretty. If you like stiffer Aida or linen, I imagine the linen is kind of stiff. It's stiff, so it makes it easier to like get it tight, I think, when it's stiffer like that. I have some of the one that everyone wants, the one that everyone loves, all those hand-dyed things, and they're too floppy for me. I can't get them tight. Picture this plus. I've got a couple of them. Don't like them. I can't use it. I cannot get it tight on the scroll rods or on Q snaps. I just can't get it tight enough. It's too floppy. So that is all I have right here. So give me a second and I will be back after I get the ones that are up there hanging up on my thing. Hold on just a second. Okay. So, here we go. The 3, I only had 3 that were up there. So, Maggie was in this video for 3 minutes, and I'm gonna have to film it over. So the only 3 I had up there were, this one's Curious Mermaid. It's Autumn Lane stitchery or stitching, whatever, Autumn Lane. There's a couple mermaid ones. This one's Curious Mermaid, and then I also have my little minnow, which I have the same exact fabric. I just cut the fabric in half so I can fit them both on the same kind of fabric, because they're going to hang next to each other if I ever get them done. But this one, I'm almost to the bottom, which you would think would mean that I'm almost done, but I'm not. I think I'm 50% done, because most of the stitching is in the bottom. It's all the seaweed at the bottom is all full stitching, like it's all full coverage. So it looks like I'm almost done, but I'm not. That's why I stopped, because I felt like, oh, I'm almost done, and then no. So there's a big anchor here that I'm going to use gold etoile, and then her fins are pink etoile, so they're shiny. And then I outlined all the fish, like I did back stitching around them because they didn't really look like fish. So I can't think of what this fabric is from. Can't think of where it's from. It's very pretty. So there's that one. And then I have another Long Dog sampler. This one's Spangled, and this one you can get on their website as a PDF, or you can probably pay to get the paper chart if you like paper charts. And then this is another fabric flare fabric where it's printed. So it's printed on one side and then white on the other. But this one's barnwood, so I thought it would make it look kind of like an old sign or something, or like someone painted it on wood. But this is as far as I got. This is just a little corner. Like this needle minder, I make my own needle minders. With my button maker, I print out a picture of whatever pattern it is, and I shrink it. Like I shrink it down, print it out, and then I make a button out of it without the pin, and then I just put a magnet on the back. But so this is the majority of the pattern. It's got a big house in the middle and flowers. So I've done a corner. Just a corner. So, but none of the stars are the same. Every star is different. So that's pretty cool. And I was doing it, so I was filling in all the black and then going back and doing the colors. But I don't know if that's easier or not. If I would just do the colors and then fill in the black, I don't know if that would be easier. I don't know. But right now, I don't think it matters. Because I don't know when I will pick it up again. And then this one is another Autumn Lane. This is Sakura. She is pretty far along. I have the top of her done, and everything, but this is as far as I've gotten. I'm down to her kimono. So the whole parasol, or the top half of the parasol, her hair, her face, everything's done. So there's that. That's all I've got up here. The rest for downstairs. And I will be back with the next part of the video. Okay. Welcome to the next day. So this is a few more of the cross stitches that were downstairs, but I still have a few down there. So here we go. That one we'll do last. So, So this one, I call it Myths and Legends. It's, I got it from Etsy. It was basically just called like tiles or summer tiles or something like that. It was just a big bunch of words that all described it, but it didn't really have a name. But it was supposed to be like rainbow, but I wanted to use these silks from whatever that company is. I can't think of what it's called. They're flower silks. But this set of colors is called the Threads of Myths and Legends. So I call this Myths and Legends. And I finally finished the top and scrolled back down. I'm almost done. I have, I think, 2 more rows, maybe 3. 2 more rows. This row, maybe 1 more row. So this is how far I'm at. And this is where I got to. So there's literally just this much more. So I think there's another row of diamonds and maybe 1 more row underneath. I'm not sure. But the cool thing is I found this memo board at a thrift store. And this will fit perfect inside the whole thing. So I'm just going to take the buttons off and I should be able to just pin it to this to hang up. So I already have a frame for it. So I should just finish it. I'm not gonna, not right now. That was my dog. Had to run in. And then this is my giant cicada. Let's see. I feel like I'll have to put a picture of what the final thing looks like right here. I finished all the wings and I'm into the body. So this, I think, right here is the middle point of the pattern. But the most dense part is his body. So let's see. If I hold it like this, I can show you what the rest looks like. So he is beautiful. This is 20 count Ada. So he will be not ginormous, because I usually do 18 count. And when I got this and decided I wanted to do it, I got 22 count, but it was too small for my stitches. Like, it was gonna scrunch the fabric. I don't know. So it's 20 count. This is, again, my vintage needle arts, or vintage needle arts. I don't know. I always say my vintage needle arts, but I think it's just vintage needle arts. So this is a really big piece, and I think this is Cafe au lait. But it's amazing. It's just lots and lots of green. And then I have a frame that he will fit in, a 12 by 24 frame. That's how big he is. I should gather up all these needles. And then this one is another Unconventional X. So it's massive, but it's not full coverage. Like, there's no background. So the rabbit itself is full coverage, but there's no background. This is Hare and Bird, and I had decided to give up on it because it's so much filling in different colors of white. But it's so pretty. So it's black and gray and white, except for the 2 red circles. So this is what it's supposed to look like when it's done. And this is how far I got before I decided I didn't want to do it. But looking at it, I really want to do it. This arrow is completely done. The bird is completely done, except for the little bit of red. So I might do it eventually. And that's another fabric flare printed Ada. It's white on the back, printed on the front. And then, so in the video I showed of my finishes, I have Jardin Parfait's Composition Florale. Well, this is the story of the sheep story. So this is another one like that, where you can buy, I think it's 3 different charts and you can stitch them separate, or you can buy all 4 and they show you how to put it together to make one big piece. So I'm doing the big piece and I've gotten pretty far. This is the middle. So this is how far I've gotten. And oops, it doesn't like when I do that. Come back. This is how far I got. So this is the beginning of it. So this is, I think, the first chart. I don't know. This is the middle. It's a big piece in the middle. It's got a bunch of houses. And then these are sheep. There's sheep in all of them because it's sheep story. So this one I for sure am going to do because I love it. And I just backstitched around the sheep so they would show up better on the ecru fabric. And then the last one that I brought up is my Adventure Time, which is not a cross-stitch chart that you can get. I bought the Where the Fun Never Ends diamond painting. It's a Mandy Manzano. It's a diamond painting from Diamond Art Club. It is massive. I used to have it hanging on my closet door. It takes up almost my whole entire closet door. So I spent a long time charting it into wind stitch, and I finally finished charting it, and this is how far I'm at. And I've been working on this for 2 years already, off and on, obviously, because this is full coverage. I don't think I picked it up at all this year. But this is as far as I got, and it looks like I'm so far, because here's the start of it, and I've already scrolled. I'm only like 15%. That's how big it is. If you could see how thick this roll is, that's how far I've got it rolled on here. But this is how far I'm at. This is how far I got. You okay? You okay, Chunk? Okay. She got her 2 claws stuck on her collar. So this is as far as I got. Basically, I use the Royal Rose method, and I go all the way across and park as I go, and then I just go down to the next row and go all the way across, park as I go. So, like I said, this is only about 15%, maybe 20%. It sure is nice though. So here is a picture of the full Diamond Art Club painting, and then how far I am. That's so sad, but It's so much stitching because it's full coverage, but it's so many colors. I think there's like 60 colors. So pretty. So that's definitely a lifelong kind of project. I don't have any plan on how to frame it because I know it's going to be years before it's ever framed. That's all I have right now. I have a few more downstairs that are on Q-snaps, and then I have a bag that I have all the ones I've taken off of frames, and they're just folded up because they've been put away. So that's pretty much it for now. I will be back with another section of video. I'll be back with another section of video. See you next time. Okay, another day. I don't know how many, it's like at least 2 weeks later. Here's the rest of my cross stitches to go in storage. We'll start with the pile of ones I don't even know if I'm ever gonna do. This one is like a galactic jellyfish. I thought it was really cool. And I have it on a galaxy print that is a, whatever you call that. The ones that are printed. So it's crazy cool colors. This one is one that I kind of charted. It's magpies. So it's legs and a branch. This one is Vivster's Sacred Geometry. I love all Vivster's stuff. She has such an eye for detail, so it's pretty cool. How was it folded? There we go. This is a kawaii dragon. I like this one because it's got cherry blossoms. They have this one that's brightly colored, and then they have one that's like black and red. This is fabric that I dyed. Nothing on it. This is a finished one. But I have something on the other side, the other half of the fabric. But this is, oh hell no. So this one's done. It just needs a hoop finish. And then this was Art Deco Blue Jay. Hey, come back. So he's pretty cool. Like all four corners have the same little pattern, and then he's like got patterns in his feathers. This, I think it was called Black Cat Moon. And I found at Dollar Tree this, it's like a plain piece of wood that you're supposed to paint, and it's arched at the top. So I thought if I just don't do the moons that are in the corners, this should fit that piece of wood with the arch. And then I stopped and didn't do any more. Oh, and that's a pin that I turned into a needle minder, Dilophosaurus. This has a couple of projects. This is one of the, I think it's a Russian pattern. but it's cherry blossoms, and it looks like, hey, come back. Looks like watercolor until you put the back stitching in. And then this is a giant koi pond, and that's as far as I got. I don't like this automated thingy. Stop. So that's the koi pond that I've got started. But this was the giant piece of fabric I was going to do the colossal octopus on. And then I was like, I'm never going to finish it. So that's all the ones I don't even have in frames. But I do want to work on them. So they'll go in the storage bin. I already got, I think, most of my floss in a tote to go inside the tote. And then at work I work at an embroidery shop, and we get a lot of clothes that come with the little silica gel packs. And we usually just throw them away. I had a shoebox that I was keeping them all in, and then someone cleaned and threw that away. So I'll grab some handfuls of that to throw in with my cross-stitch fabrics to keep them from getting moist. So now onto the ones that I do have in frames. This is the French garden tiles, I think. I got this from Inspire Uplift instead of Etsy. She has it in different colorways. So this is where I've gotten to. I finished this. No, I guess I didn't quite finish it. I'm almost done with this big medallion. And then this needle minder is cakes, tea cakes. I hate this thing. That's my chair. You can come back over. Let's just turn this thing off. It's stupid. There. Okay. This needle minder's little tea cakes. It was for a dollhouse. So that's one. I feel like I might leave that one out too. I'm gonna leave a couple of them out, so if I decide I want to stitch, I'll have them. And this is my TARDIS with adipose. This is from, God, I can't think of what the website's called, but I think it's Russian. There's like an exploding TARDIS, there's a TARDIS with like swirlies around it, and then there's the same TARDIS with swirlies around it, but also an adipose. And this is as far as I've gotten. It's this one. And then this is the Galliard. This is a long dog, but it's not nearly as big as a regular long dog. But I got this one because it had squirrels on it. And I'm using I can't think of what, Forbidden Fiber maybe. I'm using a couple of different colors of that. And then I'm using a black etoile for the squirrels and the birds and any of the little animals. And then I'm using gold, I think it's called Goldfinch. I don't know. Gold for the highlights too. So there's like a hand-dyed silver, a hand-dyed purple, and then this gold, and then black etoile for the squirrels and the birds and the flowers and stuff that are around it. And this one I got for when we went to Florida last time. And this is as far as I got. And I found a frame that I think these will fit in just as they are. But this is called Beach Please. I think it's Stitcherovia. So I'm going to put Venice, Florida, whatever year, and just frame these. Because there's, I don't know, like 16 different little squares. And then that's a needle minder that I made for Sugar Plum Dreams, and that's what the horse is supposed to look like on Sugar Plum Dreams, and then I changed mine to look like a Budweiser Clydesdale, but that's a Clydesdale. And this one is What's Crackin'? Or no, that's what I want it to say. It says, I'm a sucker for you, is what it says at the top. But and it's an octopus holding a ship. So I just have to really finish his legs. So I think I might keep his thread out too, because he's not too far from being done. This is the 150th anniversary DMC. I found it in a magazine. You could send away for it and they'd send it to you, the chart, and it was from an old magazine. I reached out to DMC seeing if anyone had it, and they had it, a PDF of the magazine, and they sent it to me, but it's teeny tiny, impossible to read. It's hand charted, so you can't even like put it in and try to, it's impossible. So I'm going off of the paper, and this is how far I got on it. But it's the DMC building and the trees and the river. But it's really cool. Lots and lots of greens where I'm at. So I love it, but it is very hard to see. This is the chart. I can show it because I know you can't see it because I'm looking at it and I can hardly see it. And this is blown up to like 150%, 200%, something. It's really hard to see. And then this, I had given up on this. I was going to put it away. I haven't stitched it in forever. My plan was to do the black and then fill in the colors. And I just didn't really like it. And then I was at the Ohio State Fair and someone actually finished it and it looks amazing. So I think I really do want to try it. But this is, I think it's another Stitch Rovia. But it's the one that looks like sailor tattoos. It says like trust yourself or trust something. That's as far as I got. That's hands, shaking hands. And then the last one is Sheep Stories from Jardin Parfait. I already did the Composition Florale, and it's 3 or 4 parts, but you can buy separate or you can buy them together and it tells you how to put them together. This one is Sheep Stories. It's 3 or 4 parts that you can buy separate, or you can buy one chart that's all of them already put together, so you don't have to try to figure out how to put it together. And I love it. So this one I'm for sure keeping out, so when I want to stitch it, I can, but I haven't picked up really anything in months since we got back from Florida. My stepmom was real sick at the time. We literally did not leave the house for a week, and I just cross-stitched for a week straight, and I just can't stand, I don't want to pick up cross-stitching. That was too much. But this one I really do want to do because I have the matching piece. So I really do want to do this. But this is Sheep Stories. And this is the middle. So this right here. So I'm almost halfway done. And they're not supposed to be outlined, but you couldn't really see it on my fabric. But this is the same fabric as the other one. So I wanted to make it match. But it's really cute. There's flowers and sheep and bees, I think. So that's it. That is all of my projects. I'm putting the bigger ones in these cool zip up pillowcases so they can be kept clean. And then, come here. Ooh, you're all wet and cold. Beanie, I see you. You're definitely wet and you're definitely cold. Yep. Oh yeah, right on my hoodie. Yep. Okay. So I've put all the floss, I think, that goes with the ones I have in bags in one tote. And then I have a bunch of floss in here, a bunch of floss up there. I got my stash of floss in here. It's like, whatever. Who knows? Sometime this year I'll probably start. Well, I guess it's November. It's November 8th. So, might not be this year that I pick it up. Next year I'll pick it up, I'm sure. So that's it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any more floss tubes. I might start showing some of my jumping spiders and the stuff I've done for them. I know there's people that don't like spiders, so I don't really want to put it on here with this video, other than the little shot I gave you of my spiders earlier. Guess that's about it. So I'll see you guys when I see you. That's all. Bye.